This is tutorial number 2 on how to use a 3D pen, and in this video we will cover some of the basic techniques that you can use to improve your 3D penning. I've released 3 tutorials all at once that cover skill levels from the absolute beginner to advanced techniques. So if you find the tips in this video too easy, go check out my advanced tutorial. Or if you're just beginning, go watch the Getting Started video. I'll put links to these at the end of this video and in the description down below. I also want to say that you can get burned by a 3D pen or the molten plastic that's coming out of it. So be careful and use caution when dealing with anything in this tutorial. The first technique we're going to talk about is filling in areas. The specific use of your filled in area is very important. For example, if you're just penning an essentially flat object, you may want the filling to be solid. In this case, you want to use a slow and steady hand speed to fill the area in fully with no gaps between the lines. And if you look at this finished piece, the bottom is smooth while the top is much rougher. And you can take advantage of this depending on the texture you want in your model. As a quick aside, I have this handheld fan that helps me cool down what I have penned out faster. Cooling it down will make it rigid so that I know it will hold its shape and I can pen over the top of it if I need to. Using the fan just speeds up this cooling process, saving me time. Okay, back to talking about area filling. If instead you're going to use these flat parts as the underlying structure to assemble a 3D object, which is a technique I talk more about later in this video, then you can get away with a much more coarser filling of the area. This saves you time and filament. You just want to ensure that the piece will have enough strength to hold together. You can do that by filling the area with multiple coarse layers that go in different directions from each other. From here you can continue to add layers, working towards a final finishing layer, or call it good if it's an internal, non-cosmetic part. Let's now talk about some different ways you can easily make 3D objects. There are 3 basic ways you can do this. The first, as you see here, is you can just pen freehand and keep building up the object that way. This is much more difficult and less structured than the other 2 approaches. The second is you can make separate flat pieces and then join them together. I also refer to this as welding them together. This is such an important basic technique that I'm going to talk about it in its own section later in this video. And the third is you can pen over an existing 3D object using it to set the basic shape. This is especially valuable to do for curvy objects like spheres. A trick to making this easier is to cover the object in blue painter's tape to give the filament something to stick to. Make sure this application of tape is as smooth as possible. You also want to make sure that the object you're penning on is strong enough to survive a hot layer of plastic going on over the top of it without melting. One of the keys to joining many flat pieces together is to do some planning up front. Sketch out the object you'd like to build, including as many of the sides as you can. You can also use some of the main pieces as stencils to help build some of the other parts. Once you have all the sides penned out, then you can start welding them together. The key here is to not use too much filament to join the pieces together. If you use too much, the pieces can start melting and lose their shape. You really only need a little bit of filament to weld parts together. Holding multiple parts and using the pen at the same time can be challenging. Using some Tac Adhesive Putty can be helpful here. Also, keeping your welding joints on the inside of your object can make it easier to apply your final surface finish later. Here you can see I'm welding in place the profiles we sketched out earlier. You can also see that I'm using just a little bit of filament to hold everything in place. Okay, this may not be a technique, but it's certainly something we need to talk about. 3D penning can require a delicate touch, and no one wants to be hours into creating something and make a huge, fatal mistake. Luckily, 3D penning can allow you to correct or recover from your mistakes. When you're at the stage of building up the underlying structure of your object, don't be afraid to get your flush cutters out, cut off the mistake, and try again. The final finishing layer is where you really need to take a lot of care, as mistakes here can be harder to recover from. This is an example of where I wasn't happy with the look of the model, so I ended up trimming off some parts and penning them out a different way. Now let's talk about one of the easiest finishing methods that looks good. I refer to this as the furry surface finish. Make sure that the underlying surface has only small gaps and no large bumps or divots. The way to apply this finish layer is to make very small, random movements with your hand as you slowly make your way across the object. Here I show you what this looks like up close with a regular pen on paper. And here's the same type of motion and pattern, but now using a 3D pen. Finally, here's a little more of me adding this surface finish onto an actual object. These random movements help to blend the final layer together and create a nice, uniform final surface. Those are my basic techniques that will hopefully improve your 3D penning. As I mentioned earlier, I also released a Getting Started in Advanced Techniques tutorial videos, so check those out if you want more info on ways to enhance your 3D penning skills. I will be releasing more of my own 3D pen creations, as well as other tutorial videos, so please subscribe if you want to see any of that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.